Hi there. Something that I would like to talk about that keeps coming up. Well, I had a friend ask about it the other day, and then also a lady that I listened to on YouTube. There's been something that, okay, after my dad died, I'm going to tell this story, but I got a message, and then I was trying to figure out something else, and I came down to an answer. And the other day, this woman that I listen to, that I resonate with on practically everything that she ever says, said exactly what I came to. So, it's a little bit of a somber story, but there is hope at the end of it. There is always hope. Okay. So, alright. One of the reasons that I despise religion so much is because the controllers of this realm control not only the life here, but they control the afterlife as well. And so what they have done is they have set up a fear and guilt control system that makes you think that there is this such thing as karma, and you have to go and fix everything, and you have to live, you have to be recycled here over and over and over. Now, prior to my own dad dying, I didn't really know what happened. I didn't have a lot of, I knew that we didn't die. I knew that for sure. I knew that I've lived many, many times because I have always had the same conscious awareness to an extent that I've always had in this body. For as little, you know, for as young as I was, I couldn't necessarily put it into words, but I had the same awareness. And so hold on. And I know that's weird because I showed this to the world, but for some reason I don't like talking if there are people right beside me. So anyhow, so I knew those things. And so then when my when my mom's parents died, my grandmother stayed around for a while. And I know she did because my best friend would have these dreams, and she would say things like, Ginger, you need to like plant the impatiens. Does that mean anything? And it's like, yeah. Yeah, those are the kinds of flowers she always had in her front yard. So yeah, okay, I'll plant those. And so anyhow, so she stayed around, okay, and I kind of think, well, she crossed over at a certain point, but that's another time. But anyhow, so when my dad died in August of 2017, we were real close. Now, he wouldn't hear of me questioning religion. He wouldn't hear of it. And I told him, you know, I'm telling you, you know, it's not, something's up. I mean, I get these weird messages from my grandma all the time. I mean, you know, but, you know, he wouldn't hear of it. And so, whatever. Okay. Well, I told him this one day, I said, well, when you die, you know, I want you to come back and I want you to tell me. I want you to tell me what happens. He's like, yeah, I will, if I'm allowed to, you know, all that. You know, we were real close. And so, about 2 months after he died, it was probably October, I had this dream. And, I mean, yes, some dreams are dreams, sure, but some of them are real, man. Some of them are just, or they just might as well be. I mean, you know, they might not literally be real, but I don't know. Let's just get on with the story. So, he gives a very detailed account of being accosted by, well, not accosted, just approached by beings that led him through a light tunnel. They had appeared to be my grandparents, but they changed into another form when they got into the building. And they did the life review. They did a life review. And basically, you know, he told him he didn't do his life right and that he had to redo it. And that he wouldn't get to see me again. And, you know, he was hysterical. He was hysterical. Okay. And the place that he met me, I know it was him. He chose that because nobody else would know. Nobody else in the world would know what that place looked like. And so anyhow, then I started research. Come to find out, there are, speaking of my grandparents, here's their old house. We happen to be walking past it. But come to find out, there are thousands of accounts of the exact same story that he told. And apparently, the whole tunnel of light, you know, follow Jesus, is the light that has to do with the reincarnation trap. There's something called the demiurge, which is known as the Saturn moon matrix. And I feel that is legitimate. I can go into that another time, but that's not interesting. If I had the money, I'd buy it back. But anyhow, and we'll talk about that later, but it appears that Saturn could have initially been our sun. The rings were installed to shut it down. And then the moon matrix is what is projecting 3D here. This could actually, we could be in 5D. I'm not entirely sure about that. I do lean towards we may be in a higher dimension than third because the astrals are so full of negative beings, and that's supposed to be the fourth dimension. Why would a higher dimension be worse than here? It doesn't make a lot of sense. But so I said I was going to give you some hope. So the message that I meditated on for a long time, because my whole thing became, how do I get out of here? How do I get out of here? You know, I gotta have a death plan. How do I get out of here? What do I do? What do I do? If I don't go to the tunnel of light, what do I do? What am I supposed to do? You know, and the answer that I got repeatedly was that the light is within. It comes from within you. And you just sit and you wait patiently. And then it, I guess, eventually, you know, comes out of you. And, I mean, that would be a good, I mean, that makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense because all these stories proclaim that these beings rush them. And, you know, if you're dead, you ain't got nowhere to go. They're rushing you because they don't want you to think about it. They don't want you to ask any questions. You have to consent. See, that's the thing. We are really, really powerful. And humans are really, really good and loving beings. And we don't belong here, okay? We're in the wrong place. And, you know, it's time to get out. And I think it is a collective of us. And if we all wish it, maybe that's how it happens. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know that this many of us have ever woken up before. I don't know. I know they reset us. It may be every single time that, you know, a bunch of us wake up, they just wipe us all out. I don't know. I mean, you know, I'm still working on stuff. I got some intel last week that there may be a machine that turns off telepathy in this world. And that would make a lot of sense, because I do get telepathic messages from people that I'm really, really close to. But it's sporadic, and it's almost like it's breaking through some kind of a spell or some kind of machinery or something. Very strange. But more on that later. So that is why I think there's a reincarnation trick, because I was told that by my father before I'd ever heard of any such a thing. I mean, you have to understand that I had never Googled anything like this before. Okay? And then I do. And there's thousands. And they all say the same thing. I mean, listen to some near-death experience stories. Have a good day.